To find out exactly how a so-called passive house works, I went right to the source. Hello, Hans.
Hello, Jim.
Meeting Hans Eek, the father of Sweden's passive house push. It's here, next to his family's very drafty 17th century house, where architect Hans built a passive house for his sister. I would have thought with all these windows that it would be a lot of cold air coming in off the lake.
That's true, but the windows are very, very energy efficient. They are about 6 times as energy efficient as normal. two-pane windows.
So what is a passive house? Hans says it's quite simple.
The principles of a passive house is that you have to minimize the heat losses.
But it's much more than just well-insulated windows. Firstly, thick walls, 40 centimeters or 15 inches of wood and insulation. Thick floors, 30 centimeters or more than 11 inches. And very, very thick roofs. For instance, look at this roof. In here is 50 centimeters of insulation, about 20 inches. And it's one of the main reasons why this passive house uses only 1/10 the amount of energy that a normal Swedish house would use for heating. Ingeborg Eek says it's quite cozy, even with no radiators and no furnace. Some people won't believe that you actually stay warm in the wintertime.
Yes, I go up the stairs up and down, so I stay warm.
You stay warm. And you create more heat and energy in the house, don't you?
Yeah.
And that is the key. A tightly sealed passive house captures the heat generated naturally during the course of the day. Heat from appliances and heat from the people themselves. This concept has been around for years, but previous attempts failed because of stagnant air. Enter this heat exchange. Fresh outside air is pumped in and warmed up when it passes over the warm air being pumped out. Something explained to environmental experts the world over who flock to this passive house center in western Sweden, where many are surprised to learn that old houses can be converted to passive homes. While much of the rest of the world is just catching on to the theory of passive housing, here in Alingsås, outside of Gothenburg, the city government is renovating 340-year-old apartments using the passive house technique. 16 are already completed. Here in Växjö, dubbed Europe's greenest city, the government is building what might be the boldest passive house project, a series of 8-story apartment buildings, passive apartments with a twist. All the walls and most of the superstructure is wood, a better insulator than concrete. These apartments will use, say the designers, as much energy to generate heat and hot water as a hairdryer.
Together we might learn how to build these passive houses, energy-efficient houses.
And to do it profitably, and then to show other people around the world how to do that.
Yeah, and then sell more, make more profit.
Sweden, along with Germany and Austria, is in the midst of a passive home revolution, with a little help from homeowners.
When it's very, very cold, I can make a cake or cook or make coffee or something like that.
As she jokes, for a passive home to work, the owner has to be active inside. Jim Bolden, CNN, Växjö, Sweden.